And starting in 3, 2, 1, and welcome to a new episode of That Karate Podcast.
I'm Sean.
I'm Liam, and great to see you all. Again, we've obviously not been here for a while. I've no hair. I've aged drastically. Sean looks the same, in fairness, but it's been a wee while. It's just been a busy year, so we just kind of get out of the habit, to be honest. People have been asking us, haven't they? No, really, they
Yes.
have.
No, I know. When I said to my wife that we're doing on a podcast, she went, "Really? Have people been asking?" I said, "Yes. 10 people have
We're
asked."
talking to nobody, right? There'll be zero views on this, but like nobody would remotely interested.
No, we have competitions. People have been asking, and people in our club, people have been asking. Did somebody found it on our Facebook a wee while back and clocked on it and watched the whole series, so they enjoyed it.
Of all things they could find online of you, Sean, that's the least worrying, I suppose. So
No comment. No comment.
no, but it's good to be back. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? Let
Eh,
the viewer know what we're doing.
we have been busy. Last year was a great year. I managed to achieve one of my life goals and compete in Japan at the JKS World Championships. Liam was there as well. And just a busy year in general, competing, travelled to Poland, competing. Classes have been busy. Seminars and life is busy, moved a new house. Yeah, just done it all in the one, moved in the house, holiday, all in the 1 year. Why not?
Why not? Indeed. So at your age, that level of stress won't kill you. So, but at my age, that level of stress will actually kill me. It'll actually put me in a box.
We moved on the snowstorm and we moved ourselves, so just hired a van instead of actually getting a company to do it. And try to carry a couch and a fridge and units in the snow and
Was
ice
that
is not
away?
fun.
Was that away?
You were in Japan.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
were in
felt
Japan.
bad that I hadn't helped you.
Yeah, I was cursing you. No, I'm joking. No, people did offer, but we had to move on the Friday, so we moved some of the stuff to my mum's lockup on the Thursday night, and then on the Friday we had to hand the keys back and get keys basically. So it was like an instant changeover. So most of the stuff sat in the van for a day, and then had to unload it into the house. The house was pretty much ready to move into anyway, so it wasn't that bad, But yeah, don't recommend moving house yourself in the ice in the snow. Get somebody to do it for you next time.
Aye, it's a false economy,
But
isn't it?
it's,
It's a false
we're all
economy.
set.
How many times did your wife shout at you?
Not often actually. Not any more than a normal.
No, right, okay. just about the regular.
Yeah, we
Good.
try to get the couch out the door. We know that the couch came in through our front door. Try to get the couch back out the front door.
It's a strange
Almost
the
caused
physics
almost
changes, doesn't
caused
it?
a divorce.
This is all karate related, by the way. This is all about focus and perseverance, audience. In case you're wondering what the
Endurance.
hell are they talking about. But
No, it's been a busy year. Last year was busy, so I'm looking forward to this year. To doing. How about yourself? Last year you had a busy year yourself. Last year too.
yeah, I don't know how I managed to get out of it in one piece. So obviously I hit the big 5-0 last year, so I put down some things I wanted to achieve and do
I
in the
go.
year. And I did them. I have to say, I don't want to sit here and blast on about things I've done,
I'll
but
do it for you.
nah.
So last year,
but,
no, 5-0 last year.
Sorry,
5-0, mate. Last year's impressive, right?
we'll get to 50.
Yeah.
Like,
Coming from the
that's
part
what
of
me.
Glasgow.
That's usually that's the lifespan, isn't it? So,
Yes.
but aye. So I had a great year. I have to say, karate wise, it was tiring. It was hard. Obviously, you're juggling a busy club and being an instructor. Plus, your kind of selfish goals, things I wanted to. And it was a selfish year. I have to say, my wife and family are very tolerant of me last year, and they were very supportive. I have to say, because I was in Japan, and essentially in 12 months I was over 4 times.
It's all right for some, right?
Well, listen, there's no money left, mate. The bank account,
It's just
the
broke.
wee bit of plastic I've been using in the corner sucking its thumb. So it's over 4 times. Obviously, we're over last November. Then we do a kind of club trip every 18 months. So over Easter, I took about 15 guys over in Easter to do a bit of sightseeing and training.
Yeah,
We were over for the Worlds in summer,
yep.
which Japan is summer. Those that have been lucky enough to go over in summer will know how much fun it is.
I
In
was
July,
very enjoyable.
August, a wee ginger Scottish guy, he had 40-degree heat. The guys were running about with a bucket of water just in case I burst into flames. And I managed to medal there and stuff, which is one of my big goals to kind of like medal at World Championships, and especially in Japan. And I managed to, you go to a tournament and they talk the chat as you want to feel you've done okay.
Yep.
I felt I did okay, so I was happy with my performances. Our team cat was a giggle like. We'll maybe
Yes. Maybe talk about that later.
talk about our team cat prep before another time. And then obviously back to Japan to do my sixth in November, which I was very, very
And you
happy to
passed.
pass. So
Congratulations.
that, and I taught in
Congratulations.
Croatia for a friend of ours. I was over in Croatia, which was an amazing opportunity for me. Obviously, I'm not the guy that gets called out for these things. I'm not a big name by any stretch. But to get asked to go out and teach another country was a first for me, and it was a real privilege to go out and do that. It was weird being the instructor as opposed to hosting the instructor. And also, and I are friends. But
Croatia was
that was
lovely as well.
stunning, mate. I mean, you kind of joked to me that I was over, and obviously the place we went to is the island of Branch, where Johan Sensei stays, and his family and his dojo, and stunning, right? Absolutely. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. I mean, Croatia is gorgeous anyway, the Adriatic. And those that maybe been to the K1s or whatever, it's a lovely bit of the world.
Yeah.
Branch is just different level, like just. And I was like, I can't believe I'm here teaching. Are you sure you're from the right guy? And it's the other Liam Gallagher that does the singing. Um,
That definitely.
the kind of funny thing, I don't want to take too much of your time, is when I turned up. I'd left, obviously, it was in November, so I'd left, was I flown out of Birmingham? And it was Birmingham at 5 in the morning in November. You can imagine how lovely it was. It was pouring with rain, it was depressing. I was shattered. I'd driven 5 hours from Ayrshire down to the airport. Parked the car up, went in, very straightforward on the plane. There was 6 of us on the plane going to Split.
6.
6 of us.
Just
And I
like
was
feet up.
easy in fact. I fell asleep. I don't remember the flight. So I was knackered because I'd been teaching all night, then drove all night, and I turned up bleary eyed and Split. And Johan says he picks me up. And we get on the ferry, and it's from pouring rain to like 23, 24 degrees, blazing sunshine, but crisp, no humidity. And I'm like, my body's trying to adjust. And Johan says, goes, I'm very sorry, Liam Sensei. And I said, oh, what for? It's quite cold today. And I was like, says, wait till you come to Scotland, dude. It was
Yes.
it was a stunning trip. So getting to do all those things last year was just, I don't know what to do this year. This year's gonna, I've
Lie
peaked.
down. Just lie down.
I officially peaked. But what's your plans for this year? What's next? What's kind of on the horizon?
Just we are in the process of trying to find a kind of full-time venue as such to kind of call a HQ. That's plan. Just we had Alan come on. Alan's a good friend of ours from a long time back. He's just came on board in August last year. So he's full-time teaching now. He's loving it. It's job of his dreams now. So he's came on board. As I said, we're all lucky to be in this position to teach karate. Competing wise for me, just we've got GKS European Championships this year, so it'll be good to go to that and just kind of continue competing until I get to the veteran section. I'm just kind of holding off fighting these 18 and 19.
I'd rather fight the 18, 19-year-old mate.
No,
Because you'll get beat 8-0, right? You'll get beat no bother. But when you go in the vet section, mate, it's
that's
there's
not too bad.
the skill
That's
level
not.
drops, but the impact increases at the same level.
Nah, I'm,
Um,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. That's another wee bit down the line. But this year, no, not much. Personally, probably out the house a wee bit. Get back into shape. Kind of lost a wee bit
But
there.
round is a shape.
Yeah, I am very round after Christmas. Overindulged. Went on holiday last year. Went to Fuerteventura during the Christmas break. So we 9 days away. It
No, that's
was
nice. That was nice. Yeah, I liked when you were sending me pictures of that. Yeah, dirty. Yeah, it was
because you were not sending pictures while you were in Croatia. Yes.
okay. Maybe it was only because I was too scared to send my wife because I told her I was working. I was working. I swear I
Yes.
was actually, but it was actually a lot of. I swear I was working. There was lots of teaching going on. But yes, but
Yeah. No, not much else. Just nothing major. Just kind of smaller things. I think to get through the year, keep building the club. And for yourself, anything?
pretty much the same. Obviously, you can't really. I kind of took stock at the end of the year as I always do, and I was like, well, I can't do that again. So like, I can't repeat last year physically. never mind, never mind
Mentally, emotionally.
financially, psychologically. Um, but yeah, I can't repeat that. So I'm really concentrating, kind of building the dojo and working on getting karate pushed out. And we're going to be discussing about that today's topic, which we'll be bringing up shortly. This year, I really want to kind of promote what we do,
Yeah,
and really kind of find a way to get us taken. I've talked about this before in the podcast before, getting taken more seriously
yeah,
by those outside karate, the outside
yeah,
of a sport, as opposed to being seen as these niche weirdos that jump about in pajamas, which some of us are, and I totally am. But trying to find a way to kind of promote karate, and obviously, when the dojo's ticking really well, I have to say,
yeah.
the year started brilliant. But I want to, so I can't stay still. I'm like you. I'm not any people that can just kind of. I'm never happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some personality defect, um, ADHD or some ABCD or whatever it wasn't diagnosed
Yeah.
when I was a kid. But I just can't stay. So my daughter just came to the window and gave me a fright. So in my office, as a wee window looks onto the dojo floor, and this face just went across there. My daughter's in cleaning today with her earbuds in, but she almost killed her fader. But that's the kind of plan. So that's this year. Not as grandiose, certainly, but it's January, so I'll tell you again in March when I've decided world domination. But
No,
we'll
you're
see.
right.
I've,
You're
still,
right.
I've got a couple of trips to Japan this year, another trip to Croatia, um, and a trip to Denmark. So it's a proper job, right?
I say this. Anybody. In fact, there was a few students that just joined recently, and they came back like, "Oh, were you working during the Christmas?" I was like, "No, we were off." And like, "All right, what do you do?" And I was like, "Teach karate." And they went full time, and I was like, "Yes, this is my job. Like this is
Yeah.
it." Like,
You feel you have to justify it, right?
because we love it, like for me, like it's coming back in January. Last week was like getting the calendar, booking hall hires and stuff, getting new people back in. It was just like the admin side of it. It is very tough. You don't nobody kind of tells you that side of it, and the kind of running a business on your own kind of thing. It's not. But as soon as I got to class last week, the first class back, I was absolutely buzzing to get back, and it was great. The classes were busy. You could see the kids were good to enjoying to get back. The parents were very happy. They just kind of shoved them right in. Quickly. I didn't. Somebody
I
come
get
and
after the summer holidays, kids just skid face first went into the floor.
yeah, but no, we actually like have the best job in the world, mate. Honestly, we do.
It's still a job at times. I mean, it's still a job. I mean, aye, it's. I think being a combination of being self-employed and it's taken me 14 years to be an overnight success doing this. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who come in and they think they can do it in a year or 2 years, and it's not. This is and you never make it from the
No,
business
it's
side.
not.
You
Yeah,
never make it as long as you because it's. I
the
mean,
type of business it is, it's not a kind of it's not something as you said you can't sit still because if you sit still then naturally you're going to lose members. Naturally, people go away, drift away. We'll come on to that obviously in today's topic, but you can't just sit still and do nothing. You need to keep moving. I'm a pretty content person. I'm happy to just sit and not do anything to be honest. But from a business point of view, you can't do that. You need to kind of keep pushing and
never
making
paddling,
sure.
you're sinking, right? And you've got that.
Yeah,
That's just the the recruitment and the running of the actual full-time kind of
Yeah,
club. But then you've got your to look after your students as well. There's the actual
yeah,
element of what we actually want to do, the fun bit on the mats. That's the bit that's
yeah,
brilliant.
exactly,
You do
exactly.
see a lot of people that come in, try it, and go, "Oh my god, this didn't work in 6 months." And you're like, 6 months.
It's hard. It's very hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. But with anything, hard work and having the right kind of support structure and the right drive in place. If you don't, if it's something you want to do properly, then I
You
think
gotta love it, right?
yeah,
You gotta
you
love it.
have
If you're
to.
doing it for the money, to be called sensei, do something else. Just open a part-time club and call your 10 students call you sensei, right? If that's what you're up for. But anyway, so
I,
today's topic, because we came back
that's
and
all kind of
nonsense all
yeah.
day, right? Today's topic, Sean has brought today's topic, our first topic of 2025. The first one in almost a year since our last podcast. Sean,
Has it been a year? Has it been a year?
I think it has.
Oof. So wanted to start back, obviously, just a wee catch up. Hopefully, all the viewers and listeners are well.
Hopefully we do.
We
Two of
didn't
them are
want to,
us.
we didn't want to start back. We didn't want to start back with something too heavy, but something that I have been thinking about for a wee bit, and we spoke about, and even just in general chat there, all those topics were coming up regarding the perception of karate. How does karate look to the person, the people outside of our karate world? How does it look to the people inside the karate world? How's it changed over the years now? I've been doing karate for 27 years, which is a long time, but you have been doing karate for way, way
Aye.
longer than that, right? So,
I would
just
say I
on
was
in that
going to
sense.
karate for longer. I wouldn't say I was doing karate for longer. It was a good 10
So,
years I was in a clubhouse a bit like an idiot, right? Or maybe only the last 5 years I actually did a bit of karate.
but just in general, kind of how's that work, and how is people perceive karate to in relation to other hobbies? Um, compared to like athletics or football, dance, and gymnastics. You were talking about karate being niche, and how does that perception look? Obviously, the viewers and listeners, we always want to hear from you guys as well. Comments or drop us a message if you don't want to comment on the Facebooks or whatever. Just drop us a message regarding that. But how do you, Liam? I think like from the outside world, how does karate look? You were talking earlier on about it being a niche. And
Well,
how
I
does it look?
think when obviously we work with schools, so that's the kind of point of contact I kind of deal with muggles. Not when I'm introduced, I talk about karate, I don't walk about Sainsbury's with my karate suit on, as although some people do.
Yeah,
I've
yeah, you
seen
do.
some taekwondo guys on about their gis. Anyway, but it's walking down the main street. But anyway, I find that so when I go out, like I find it difficult to educate. I don't think like this is probably more instructors that are listening to this at this point. I don't think we're great at working together towards a greater good and educating the kind of broader kind of populace about what it is we do and what we achieve. I think most people get their information from movies, computer games, cartoons.
Yeah,
And when they actually see karate, they don't get it, they don't connect. There's a part of that I think is one is Asian culture. This is Western culture. A lot of us we go to Japan or we buy into the Asian culture, the Japanese culture side if you're a karate person. And you just kind of buy into that, and that's hard to transpose over here because there's two different ways of thinking. Those that have been in Japan, I don't need to tell you, like it's like landing on the moon, right? It's
yeah.
the way they think over there. That's their whole background, their traditions, and the way of doing things is totally different. Certainly in the UK. So I think there's an element of that. So you always find yourself trying to educate. So when I grew up a million years ago, when karate was in black and white, and there was only two channels in the telly, it was
It just
very
landed
much
on
the
the moon.
kind of. I was too young for the Bruce Lee bit. So I was too young for the Bruce Lee bit. So I was kind of just at the Karate Kid time. So dojos were rammed. Because Karate Kid was a massive cultural thing. And a lot of kind of people my age, younger or even slightly older, will tell you that's maybe what got them walking through that door because it made it accessible. I don't think we've had something like that since.
Do you think Cobra Kai was close, is the
I
closest we'll
don't
get
think.
to it? No.
I think back then that there was. Again, I do sound an old fart now. People get their media from so different, many different ways now,
Yeah.
right? So the movies are dead now. You got the movies are dead, right? Obviously the Netflix, but you watch a show on Netflix and right away you're on to the next show on Netflix. So things don't stay and resonate and have an impact the way they used when they did when I was growing up. And I'm assuming that's how I see it. So things like the Karate Kid or movies like that, or things like that, they kind of connected with them, and you
Yeah.
weren't like straight on to the next thing afterwards. Like, uh, whereas I think it's perpetual. You're almost forgotten about 5 minutes later when they see things like that. I think some kids will buy into Cobra Kai, that kind of,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's the cultural storm that likes of the movies and media kind of 80s and 90s because there's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes sense. Hope it makes sense.
No, no, it makes sense. No, it makes sense.
So from that
It makes
respect, I
sense.
think it's difficult. So how do we do it now? So we do it by going into work in the schools. So I try when I go into the schools, I try and break the perception of what they think it is. I
Yeah.
also introduce it as a sport, and I know there's karate people out there will be like skewing blue murder going, it's not a sport, it's a martial art. But you have to remember that people outside martial arts don't communicate that way.
Yeah.
They don't see it from
No.
that perspective. And when you go in and go, oba, 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 then what you've got people going, that sounds too complicated for me.
Yeah.
And off they pop. So I kind of approach it from the sporting side. So when the people, the teachers, etc., and the people are sport minded, they can connect with it in that respect, and at least they'll respect it from a sporting aspect.
That's like another part of the topic today that I would like to kind of touch on as well. In sense, we'll get onto that later. But being uh, identifying as a like a sport or identifying as a martial art, why can the club not be all of that? Why can a club not have a fun ninjas class and a mixed ability classes, advanced classes, and be able to have a competition side? You know, only like I don't know 5% of my club compete. You know, so we can have that sports side of it, and we can still have the martial arts side of it as well. You know, we can have
I think for us it's a bit easier in respect that it's our job and we are
yeah,
able to structure an academy around these different levels and create pathways. There's a lot of really good instructors out there who teach 2 nights a week,
yeah,
a couple of hours a week. So, and this is what they do, you know.
yeah,
It depends what your element, what's your, as an instructor, we maybe the people that do it for a job define success by how many numbers they have, whereas other people define success in their club as the quality of the club
yeah.
or, you know, the community of the club. So I think we all can identify success in a different way. But I would say that clubs, I can see certain styles. I was speaking to there's some guys that hire my dojo. They're kind of friends of mine, and they do shotokai, and which is a
Do
very
what? Sorry.
shotokai.
Okay.
It's an offshoot Shotokan. Don't get me going. We'll be there all day. So anybody out there will tell you better than I can. They're really good guys, but it is very different from Shotokan, and a very different approach. It's almost a study group more than a dojo,
Okay.
and they're not really interested in beginners and newbies. So the problem with that is, as the natural progression of time, which if you watch the first podcast and see me now, you'll witness the natural progress of time. It's the haircut makes me more severe. Right,
It doesn't. It does.
I do. I look like a psychopath. Um,
More so than usual.
More so than usual. Um, and so those kind of groups and clubs die out and disappear. So I think maybe if you're wanting things to kind of your club and your martial art, your karate to kind of progress, you need to start thinking of it in those terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about this as my club and your club. We're talking about this karate as a general.
Aye,
That's
but,
just not.
but, but
Yeah,
obviously we. I think we. I don't want us. Obviously, my perception is I do this as a job, so I
yeah,
don't. But I also remember doing this as a hobby,
yeah.
teaching. So
And we enjoy karate as well. We enjoy training. We enjoy going to Japan. We enjoy competing. You know, it's not that we enjoy.
no, we listen. This what I do. The club itself funds my midlife crisis, right? So, and the fact I get to live the 15-year-old Liam's dreams, which I did
Yeah,
last year. 15-year-old Liam last year would have been like, holy moly, mate, well done. Um, but yeah, I think we need to kind of find a way to get to band together, which is impossible because you can't get two karate instructors to agree to colour a black belt, and and kind of show a united front and get taken more seriously as a sporting pastime.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
also got to be more successful. So there's a knock-on effect here.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think
You,
is
I can talk nonsense all days, so kind of.
no, but mate, this is how this podcast started with me and Mark chatting. We'll hopefully get Mark back on again sometime soon. Um, but yeah, from my point of view as well, it's just that kind of same idea compared to football, which is so mainstream, and gymnastics, dancing, even like rugby and tennis now, and athletics. Just karate's the one night a week. I think as well. I think a big part of that is now there's so many clubs for the kids to go to. When I was kind of 12, 13, it was karate for me, obviously. But I also done rugby, and then it was one or the other. My dad said he couldn't afford it, nor it was clashing in terms of weekends. So I chose karate, but 90% of people probably would chose rugby over that, and just because that is a more mainstream sport, and as you said,
And yeah, there's also the governing bodies put a load of cash into coaches delivering sessions at schools, whereas our governing bodies aren't funded or big enough to be able to do that.
yeah,
So I was down. We were very lucky to be nominated for awards down in one of our council areas, and we were finalists in it. But Scottish Rugby had poured fortunes into having coaches in clusters, and that was that coach's job. They'd go around and deliver these sessions. That was
ah,
their full-time occupation.
right,
So they're
okay,
building grassroots sports at school level,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
creating that pathway to club level, to junior club level, and on. Whereas we don't have that cohesion to build that up.
yeah,
So that's why we're always going to be battling, and also it's got to be appealing.
yeah,
What we do has got to be appealing. It's got to be cool, whether I like it or not, right? So I know I guess people out there going, but if you're wanting a kind of next generation coming through, it's got to be appealing.
yeah.
And it's
No,
also to
that's
keep them in it. I mean, I'm sure all the instructors out there will understand this, that we have students to stay. I've had students for 10, 12 years now training, and then they move on and they quit training. And you're like, oh my God, how can you quit training after 12 years, But what is there to keep them in it?
yeah,
There's no kind of structure and pathway around it to kind of keep them in it.
yeah. No, I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. It's, yeah, I was saying this. I was speaking to one of the students last night who, unfortunately, wants to take a wee step back from competing, but they still want to train because they enjoy karate. And I said that's for me. That's important that he still enjoys
So pardon me, I'm
doing
not just
karate.
my charging
Just
port.
kidding.
Hello, guys. Yes, I moisturise. Guys that are on the listening to this have no idea what happened there, but my laptop keeps trying to stop charging. So you all got a 3D print of a really old guy.
Um,
So I'm pointing at my laptop. Carry
are
on.
you good?
Yeah.
No, I find so like when they said to me last night that they wanted to just continue just doing karate because they enjoy karate, then I was I was obviously gutted they don't want to compete. They're a good competitor, but they still want to do karate. So from the group of I don't know 15, 16 people that when we first met 20 odd years ago, there's not many of us still training now because there were different reasons, as you say, is there was not things to kind of keep them in, different things like the jobs and families and moving away and but there's like what 3 or 4 of us that are still training now. So
I know, but what makes it? What's the difference? Like, so I had jobs, I've had
true,
family,
true.
So what's the difference between those that stay in it and those that drift out it? What's is
Yeah,
there a mindset thing? Is it I don't know.
maybe.
Do you
Maybe.
outgrow it in some ways?
Yeah,
Maybe you're just still a big kid. Do you outgrow it? I
I know I
don't
am.
know. Um,
Nah, it'd be interesting to see how many people who started at grassroots football or grassroots rugby, tennis, or whatever the kind of mean, and they're still doing it, not necessarily as a job, but still training or
but I
at that
think,
maybe.
yeah, what you're saying is bang on. I think that it's exactly the same across all sports.
Yeah,
I don't think it's unique to karate. I don't think it's unique to karate. I think we also can burn our people out. I think we can also burn our athletes out. I was, if you heard the Gordon, Gordon Strachan.
Hmm.
I was listening to a podcast with him the other day, and he was talking about he's working with elite level sport and football, and he's talking about the amount of travelling footballers do now. Kids like 7, 8, 9, 10 years
Oh,
old.
really?
He says every weekend they're doing 8 hours, 9 hours driving to go out and play a meaningless game
Yeah.
to come back. You know what I mean? And they're spending. I think he figured out it was one of the parents they'd kind of mapped it that the parent would have. I'll find a link for the podcast. Would have
Uh-huh.
in the space of the kid's junior career would have literally driven the length of the world 4 times. Yeah, to
Oh,
play
massive.
something like 1,000 or 2,000, something 1,000 hours of football. He said those 4 hours traveling, those 2 hours should be spent on coaching and improving and
Yeah.
working regionally. And what's happening is the kids and the families are obviously this massive financial
Yeah.
pressure, and also you burn the kids out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I guess there's pros to that as well. They're getting to travel a wee bit and see and compete against other teams that they probably wouldn't compete if they stayed at home and played teams locally. But as you say, from last year. I mean, the competitive. If we're lucky, we're in a position where we have these opportunities. If you want to compete, you can regularly compete. But I think it was working out. You can compete almost every weekend at some point.
but
Some of the months.
I thought
But
again,
that's pros of that as well. That if that's what you want to do, then the opportunities are there for you to do it. But as you say, if you're doing that for maybe 7, 8, 9 years, then by the time you hit 18, 19, 20, are you going to be burned out and you just don't want to do it anymore, kind of thing, or you
well,
just,
I've certainly seen elements of that for those guys at that
yeah,
age, just burned
but
out, or people that peak too soon. They peak at 14, 15, 16, never quite hit those heights again because you studies. Yeah. Well, I never peaked, so so you've got obviously you get to start the exams, but and then we get
yeah,
college, uni, etc. And they never
yeah,
quite go back and get what they did before, and then for them that's failure, and then they disengage. But yeah, how do we kind of get that out there? Do we push karate out there and make it more appealing to, or even just respected? Because not everybody's going to join karate. Not everybody's going to. Karate's not their thing, right?
yeah.
You've got a thumb going up and down there. Was that?
I just realised, right, it's totally off topic, but the Zoom can recognise. Like, I'm just going to put my thumbs up, right, and I'm going to get a thumb up, or I put my hand up. It's like
I'm
Zoom.
crazy. You
Like, that's crazy.
just flipped
Um,
us.
no, it's because I had my hand up. So like you don't need to speak or
No, we were talking to Lorna. We used to like live on Zoom, as many of you did, and now I didn't figure out how to turn the damn thing on this morning.
that was impressive. That was
It
very
was.
impressive.
Um, yeah,
Sorry,
so
bit off topic there, sorry.
um, to get karate taken more seriously, we need to all decide what the public face of karate is. Although it's a big church, and I say this all the time, karate is a big church, and everybody's got a different perspective, and everybody's got a
Yeah,
different view on it. But when we're going into schools to educate, we're approaching the likes of in Scotland, obviously, it's Sport Scotland, England, Sport England, etc. How are you approaching these people? Are you approaching as a united front? Are you looking at the bigger picture? Are you only giving a damn about you being the chief instructor? Everybody's seeing you as the big boss, you making all the money, or are you looking at the grand picture?
yeah,
And I think we both know the reality is often that it's all about who's the one in charge. The egos kind of hold us back almost.
yeah. No,
Uh,
I think you're right. And I don't know, I'm assuming that'll be the same in every sport, it'll be the same in
oh,
every
listen, 100%.
politics, it'll be the same.
But I do think that I'd some elements where we're still maybe 10 years behind even other sports. So in regards to that, but we need to kind of just back that in and think about the bigger picture. Do you want this to survive into the next generation? What is it you want the next generation to be training in? What's the succession plan? Because everybody thinks to live forever, right? What's the succession plan? How does karate survive and move forwards? Do you even care? So, and if you don't care, get out the road of the ones that do. So
Yeah, no, I think you've hit the kind of nail on the head there, to be honest.
that's what I do, man.
Yeah, as I said, I was just interested in kind of in comparison to other sports and stuff, where are we at,
Well, for
in that
me,
sense?
right, so my ideal world, I tell you my ideal world plan, right? Everybody joins the NGBs. Everybody is happy to put money into the NGBs to fund the NGBs because the government ain't gaining us nothing, right? Unless it's a round ball, an oval ball, or horse riding. Don't get me started. I remember they got the Olympic thing. I needed like sedated. There was like 24 million went into horse riding. Anyway, and judo get 500,000 or something. You're like, what are you doing? Anyway, we just all bunch in, and then see our top level athletes, competitors. They keep them in the sport. Their day jobs going around going around and delivering sessions in schools, going around
Yeah,
and showing um, uh, what it is we do. That's their day job. A couple of coaches going around each area, um, traveling, delivering active school sessions or school sessions, and that's what they do. They promote. So for even for the athletes for Aberdeen, but they're doing sessions in your area, well, you're a local NGB club. They promote your club. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? That's what, and it goes out and it gives a cohesive view of what it is we do. Obviously, you need to make sure they're the right type of people that are delivering it as well. Uh,
yeah.
keeps them in a
And that,
sport, gives them a full time occupation, um, funds their travel, all those bits and bobs, and promotes properly regulated clubs. That's my ideal. Will it happen? No, because we just don't have that level of money going in. We need to win the lottery or something. I need to win like 500 million, and I'd be like chuck a load of money at it to get that done. But that's ideally what we do.
yeah. And it just again, I just want karate to be. I want every day to do karate. I love it so much. I enjoy it so much that I want every day to do it. Every day to enjoy it. Same way as I do. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that. But again, I think it's again a bit education as we get people to understand what it is we do.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
educate
it's true.
me so I know what we're doing because I'm winging it, mate.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
All I
No,
say
no.
is bend your front knee, put your hand in your hip. That's roughly what I say all day.
And
I
ten
heard
counts of
somebody say
ten.
it 30 years ago, and I just repeat it in class, and I can
And I
count to
only
10
count
in
to 10.
Japanese.
I don't go out after 10, just 10 every time. Uh, yeah. No, that to me, as I said, I was just for before New Year. I kind of missed a wee bit of the podcast. I enjoy catching up. I enjoy engaging in conversation about karate. To be fair, it's not. I don't like politics, or I don't really watch sport as much anymore or anything.
Wait, you have
Just
no life. Just say it.
I just karate. Karate is my life.
Just karate is my life.
That's- So I'd be interested. As I said, it was just interesting to perceive, and from the instructor's point of view, people saying, "Oh, they're going to take extra classes at football, so they're dropping karate, or extra classes at athletics, so they're dropping karate, or whatever." It's just
We're always the one that loses. Aye, so your
yeah,
point's right. We're always the one that
yeah.
loses out. But I'll be
I'm not
honest.
moaning about it. To be fair, I'm not like having a go at these guys for leaving.
I
I
am.
wondered how
I
how
am.
do we?
Try me.
No, it is a
Why
little
don't
bit
you love
frustrating.
me?
It's a little bit frustrating when you get somebody who is good at karate leave to go do another sport, But it is what it is, It's not. I'm not having a go at that from that point of view. I'm just seeing. I'm trying to think of the bigger picture, like not just our club, but how can karate be that thing that people
How can
drop
we
their
more
football
appealing? Why
sessions?
they choose it? How can we get to choose us as a
How,
valid? Because obviously we're missing something, right?
yeah,
Maybe
yeah, and I
that's my
genuinely believe
point.
that
But
karate has so many positives, like so. Just from my point of view, I maybe just in the bubble of karate, and outside that bubble, I don't know if people see it like the way we see it. That was the whole point of the topic. To be fair,
yeah, I mean, I see. I mean, it's always hard when you lose students after time, and when you choose another sport, um, maybe I'm a bit colder now. I think earlier I was a bit kind of. Now I'm like, no problem. It's if it's your choice. I think maybe I'm old and embittered.
you've got numb.
I've been hurt before. I refuse to love again. Um, but I don't think I had one the other day there who should be with me for years and years and years. It just and gives me a message through Messenger. Cheers, mate. Didn't even come in the door, and you're like, do he's come in and say, listen, I'm moving on, or
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
continuing.
what I had.
But it was purely, listen, that's him quit. We're no paying you anymore. That was literally the message. And I'm like, wow. Because you give them, as instructors, we all do it. We all give more than we're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Right. So people pay us for karate instruction. They pay us to teach. But we do more than that.
Yeah. Because
You're a
we care.
social worker. You put your arm around, listen, you'll be all right, son, or whatever. You play a bigger role in their development if if because it's more than people say the difference between being a sensei and a coach. Well, I think being a coach is you can be both, because a coach also has to connect on a different level from the
Yeah.
sensei does.
Mm-hmm.
But I so sometimes you go, oh, well, that kind of hurt, or he's off to do sport. But I will say this: I've had more people in the last couple of years quitting other sports to come here.
Oh, really? So that's interesting to hear that, to be fair, because as I said, that was my kind of thought process behind the topic for today's chat. So that's interesting.
I would say it's flipped. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say I've got more people saying that the girls have given up dancing, they'll enjoy this, or they've given up gymnastics because they want to do this, they love it. Or I've had ones that have, one boy in particular who was playing football, and he had the choice to kind of take it further the football, and he went, nah, it's getting over my karate. And I was like, well, obviously I've had, I had a young lad that trained with us that went the other way to football, but he's like going to
Yeah,
finish up, he's going to
yeah,
be famous one day. Whereas actually, what you totally get that, because that's his dream job, right? He wants to do
yeah.
that. This is my dream job. I can't be in a huff with the guy doing the same thing that I'm
No,
doing.
no.
Although he still comes back and trains now and again, I have to stay out until pops up the dojo, sticks his gi on and kicks stuff. But no, I do think we are changing it a bit. I do think the perception is improving. But again, I think it depends the type of club you're running as well.
Yeah,
Are you
of course
offering
it is.
opportunities?
Yeah,
The big word in the clubs is opportunities. Are you with an association, federation, or you association or federation that's offering the opportunities to your students, members, athletes, instructors, that keeps them in and keeps them interested and keeps them engaged? And if you're not, that's why you're losing them.
yeah,
If your thinking is the same as it was for karate 20 years ago, and you're still thinking back to the good old days, which I was there, they were good, but they were, there's
I
much.
was there 20 years ago, by the way.
You were
Just
like,
saying.
you were like, oh, God, how did I know
Yes.
you 20 years ago?
We've been friends for like 25 years now. I can tell by the way you look. 25.
When the
Well, I've been
same
in
club
class.
for 25 years, I don't want somebody to think I was like,
No,
not
no.
that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I would say I've been friends for 25 years now,
Uh,
roughly. Because I've been in karate for 27 years. In the first kind of 2 or 3 years, you weren't there. You weren't
no,
there, man.
in the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not been there either. But yeah, it's I do think the perception is changing. I think we can focus on the negatives, but I do know there's instructors out there who complain. I do speak to people who complain about their clubs that are shrinking, or they're not getting, they feel stagnant, and they feel
Yeah,
that, and we can all get in a rut.
yeah,
It's absolutely normal to get in a rut, but you need to get out the rut. At the end of the day, if you are running the dojo, it's on you, it's on us, it's on you, it's on me
yeah,
to make those changes and kind of um so that we stay engaged. Because if we personally as instructors get in a rut, then the whole club follows.
yeah.
If we don't want to step on and do other things, the whole club follows. So
Yeah.
if you're in a federation that's stagnant, or isn't doing things, or isn't going the road you like, naming no names, then I've been good. Uh,
First one back. Let's just keep it for the first one back. Just be it.
I was very good the last 2 years. And you're not doing it, and you're not paying attention to your students, etc., what other needs and wants. If you're just telling people all the time and not listening back, then eventually your federation, your club's going to die, and your
Yeah,
perception in your community is going to drop as well. Because it's
yeah,
not about necessarily the big picture, right? It's about where you teach, the community you teach in, how you perceive there, how you perceive by the kids, the parents, the groups around there. Are you professional? Are you offering opportunities? Is you a good standard? Are you open minded? Are you inclusive? Are you
yeah,
all these different things make the difference at community level? If you can do that at community level, then a national level will take over.
yeah,
Uh, but we kind of need to meet in the middle, if you know what I mean. So our governing bodies need to kind of do a bit more for pushing things out over media and things like that. Whereas at community level, we've got to engage better.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I think that's kind of the way forward, to be fair. And just as I said, there's loads of positives so far. It's not like it's been a completely negative. It's just interested to see your perception of it.
Because I'm old. God, say it. Say it.
You are wiser instead of
Oh,
older, I'll use.
Jesus. That is not true. That is not true. I
And
have.
also, the listeners and viewers, please feel free to interact. And we've got a wee Facebook group, a private Facebook group as well. So if you don't want to comment on our public pages, and you can comment on our or drop us a message. But yeah, we're back.
Are we?
Yeah. We'll see.
We're a bit out of practice, guys, so I hope you don't mind the meandering in the conversation today because we kind of offshoot it into different. We didn't say we never go in a straight line, right? We're
No.
not professionals. We go. I certainly
Yeah,
do. I've got a
we do.
multi-track mind. But yeah,
That is going good. We're hoping to kind of get some new guests on this year, and keep pushing forward. I think we're looking at once a month. I think we were saying.
yeah. So Sean put up on the Facebook page like if you're somebody let's see is interviewing, we'll ask them. They might tell us no. Especially after seeing this episode. This was a bit crunchy. But
Get back. We're just getting back into the
I
flow
know,
of it.
I know, I know. But it might be somebody like we'll ask them. They might tell us no, Peter, no interest in speaking to you. Or they might be all over it. So there's a few people I'd like to speak to this year, try and catch up. People were meant to speak to last year, but the kind of whole thing didn't really
Yeah,
kick on last year. To catch up with them. Got a friend out in Japan, like to get a wee chat with, some people in the UK like to get a wee chat with. So hopefully that's something you'd be interested in. Our interviews were always the most successful of our
yeah,
podcast because frankly, who wants to listen to us? So if you have ideas or you'd like to put yourself forward, say, listen, I fancy a chat. Don't think it's ego. Don't think, oh, I don't want to be thought of like that. Listen, get involved. We'd love to have you on and have a wee chat with you and hear what your thoughts are. Because
yeah.
nobody wants to hear yours, let's be honest.
There's no pressure either. We started this podcast during lockdown because we were just chatting, and I thought, why not just share it with the wider.
When I share with the world,
But yes, no,
three
it's been good.
voices in my head.
That's just us. That's just us in general. But no, it's been good being back, and again, thank you for the kind of the your thoughts on that topic there. I'm interested to hear anybody else's thoughts on that topic and how we kind of move forward as a karate as a whole.
And if there's somebody out there that has a plan, don't sit in it. Don't keep it to yourself. Okay, remember
Yeah,
if karate goes mainstream properly and is perceived by the general public as a worthwhile pastime and sport, every club benefits. Whether you're a club that's not involved in sport karate, your club that is involved in sport karate, whether you're WKF, WKF, whatever the hell, whatever four letters with a K in it, whatever federation, association, cult, whatever the hell it is you're involved in, if we all benefit if it's taken seriously and we are perceived as being professional and worthwhile. So if you have a plan, get it out there, speak to somebody, shout at somebody important, don't shout at me, I'm no use. And get it out. I think that's the thing. I think
yeah,
we all have a plan how to fix the world, right? But we'll usually keep it quiet.
yeah.
Somebody
No,
somebody out there has maybe got the plan.
hopefully, let us know
Please
or let somebody know.
nick it and use it for myself. No, that's what the worry is, isn't it? That's the worry. Cry instructors are weird, right? They're just a weird bunch. individually nice people, but just terrified of like, nah, we're a weird bunch. Right. Is that us? Are you finished, Sean? Nothing else you want to add? No, yeah.
No, I think
Well, this
for
has
a
been a
first one back,
worthwhile endeavour today, getting back to this.
I've missed it. It's not easy. I have a problem talking in front of a camera. I don't like it, but it's nice to have a chat and seeing that other people have asking. It's great.
Sean disturbed me earlier on, and I said, I've got the kit here, and he goes, right. He says, I've got my lighting and microphone, etc., upstairs. And I went,
My webcam is upstairs. It's not. It's in the attic.
oh,
Not.
right, okay, right. I
Yeah,
see. You were specific on this.
I was not, but I forgot that you have a one-track mic.
I was, I thought things are so bad. Sean's got an OnlyFans.
No,
I
I don't go
just felt
searching.
sick there, did it? As 20 people that were watching this just threw up in their mouths. So, sorry, guys, this isn't for kids. This podcast, this isn't aimed at children. All right, so
No, I do not have an OnlyFans, and my webcam and lighting and my phone is upstairs. I just use my laptop webcam today instead. It is upstairs in the loft.
well, I'm in my office, as you can tell, which is freezing. It's the back end of the building, and the sun never hits this. I know you think people in England that sun never hits Scotland, but specifically this side of the building, the sun never gets round. So it can be like absolutely roasting in the dojo, and in here's like a fridge, which is good. But when it's cold in here, it's chilly. Oh, aye. That's why I've got the old hoodie and jumper on today. But anyway, I've shared
Nice.
that interesting info with you. We'll be back very shortly with another one. Sean's promised. Yes.
Yeah, once a month are we going for? We'll go for
Once
once
a
a month.
month. That's yes. Once a month is all I can cope with you, Sean. Yeah, maybe once a month. But if something else comes up, we feel we need to chat about. We'll chat
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. We can
Uh,
minimum once a month. If we get more, we get more. If we can get another guest on, we'll get guests on. If we can get them.
please, let's have a guess.
Yeah.
Let's get a guess for the next one. Right.
Yep.
We shall leave it there. I need to figure out to stop this damn thing. It's been that there it is. I can see it.
Press the
Sorry.
record button. Put your
Right.
reading glasses on. You've got more
Those
than one pair of
man.
glasses.
It's coming to you one day, mate. I would see
Getting
it.
there. Getting there.
Coming to you one
Getting
day.
there.
Right, guys, thank you so much for putting up our utter nonsense today. It is our first one back. I hope some of it made sense.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It sounded like a jumble to me. But we will get better at it again. We'll get back on it. And we will see you in the next episode. So, Sean, thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much. And thanks to the listeners and
We
viewers.
will see you either about at comps or whatever, or on this. Okay. Right. Take care. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you. Bye bye.